Hey, what's up, y'all? I am Church of Caboose, and for today's Destiny 2 video, we're going to be talking about the Hunter build options that I think work really well with Traveler's Chosen. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, I am trying to record as I play live on Twitch. Fortunately, my Twitch is not the best. I am working on some upgrades and stuff like that, hopefully in the near future, but financial restrictions will tell, and that would potentially improve the video. So if you guys experience some lagging, I apologize, but at least now you know why. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. Also, since you're here, you guys might as well subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button because you get notified when I make uploads. It means the world to me when you guys subscribe, and it's not a whole lot of effort for you guys. Plus, if you end up deciding what I make is absolute poo-poo, you can always unsubscribe and go that route if you so wish. So please subscribe while you guys are here. And if you do enjoy the video, make sure you click the like button so that way you guys get more attention to this video, get some interactions, and hopefully I can get to know all of you guys just a little bit better from commenting and whatnot. I've built some really cool relationships from folks that comment on my videos, and one of them's in my clan now. Hopefully more will be coming to follow. So if you guys also need a clan and LFG stuff, make sure you check out my Vengeful Discord server. There's a link for our clan down below. If the link is expired, let me know and I'll send you a new one in a new comment. Alright, so let's get talking about the Traveler's Chosen. The Traveler's Chosen with Hunter build. We're going to start off first with what I think are the best ones, specifically really serious kinds of builds, and that are perhaps more commonly used for PvE, especially endgame PvE. The first one that you Hunter mains out there probably already know about is the Way of the Trapper. It is a Void top tree subclass. It puts out a pretty lengthy tether and lets your team deal more damage to whatever it is that's tethered, and of course it stuns whatever is stuck inside of that tether. And there's two exotics I really like pairing with it. In Crucible, I love putting Gemini Jester with that Way of the Trapper, because Gemini Jester disorients enemies when you dodge, and then you go invis, which means they lose all aim assist, and so it's a little bit easier to get some kills and just kind of do some sneak attacks on folks inside of the Crucible. I also really enjoy doing Orpheus rigs, mostly for PvE, because that exotic gives you back your super. So you do a tether, and you regenerate super energy, which makes your life way easier to get more supers out there, especially in the end game things like dungeons, raids, Master Nightfalls, and Grandmasters. There's also a whole bunch of other stuff you can do that's really cool with the other subclasses. The main thing I would focus on is you gotta consider with your dodges. Every subclass has a Gambler's Dodge, which gives you back your ability. So in the case of this current, it would be Smoke Bomb with Arc, it'd be their Punch, and then with Solar, it'd be their Throwing Knife. And so you just kind of gotta look and be like, this is what I want more than something else. Or you could do so if you want the reloads, because you're going to rely on that sidearm for all of those abilities, then great. Or just be like, I want to have that dodge come back on top of my super. So that's kind of some things to think about as you're looking through those different subclasses. So now we're going to take a quick look at some of the different exotics that you can use that go pretty well with several different subclasses. So hopefully we can kind of cover a wide range of things for all y'all and give you guys a good expectation of some stuff that works, I think, really nicely with Hunters and specifically the Traveler's Chosen. Now, a little disclaimer, I didn't go through include every single exotic. I did go through the whole exotic list to see what I thought would make the most sense. I'm also not a Hunter main. So if you're like, hey, there's something I think that'd be really cool that you missed, Church, then let me know in the comments section so that way you can share your wealth of knowledge with everyone else. I'm more of a Titan/Warlock kind of a guy. Really only do Hunter for PvP. Yes, I'm that guy who somehow sucks at PvP with Titans and Warlocks and does just okay with Hunters inside of PvP. So let's take a look at the exotics. We're going to go from head to toe because of, like my other videos, head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes. By the way, I did a video for Warlock, so check those out if you play on those other two characters as well. So the first exotic we're going to mention is, of course, the Wormhouse Crown. Dodging gives a small health and shield bump. So if you want to regen that health, whether it's PvP or PvE, while this exotic is super popular in PvP, having more dodges because of this sidearm giving you more of those charged dodges means you're going to get more health back and have an easier time staying alive, especially in those 3v3 playlists like Comp and Trials of Osiris. We've also got Graviton Forfeit, which is improved invisibility. So obviously, the more dodges you get when you're running that Void subclass, whether it's top tree where you go invisible just by dodging, or a bottom tree where you just throw down a smoke bomb to turn yourself invisible, you will have improved invisibility, which is always nice to have. We've also got Assassin's Cowl. Powered melee kills and finishers grant invisibility and healing. So obviously, the more powered melee kills, whether it's your throwing knife, your smoke bomb, or your arc punch, this is probably a better exotic for solar and arc subclasses than for void, you will get invisibility and start to heal. Can't go wrong with those options. Then for Gauntlets, we've got Shinobu's Vow, improved skip grenades. This will only work on arc and only on skip grenades. You get 2 skip grenades, they have better tracking, that sort of thing. So obviously the more grenades you're getting because the Traveler is chosen, the more use you get to make out of this exotic. This is really popular in Crucible, especially during like that Valentine's duo thing where you get increased ability to recharge rates, and everyone was using Shinobu's Vow, and they were also doing it during the Revelry in like the spring of 2018 or some shit like that. You've also then got Kepri Sting, which is you get an instant smoke bomb with true sight and improved damage. So it's not a bad way to have just extra smoke bombs going around. So you get that instant one, then you just like do your whole charge of gathering light, and you get another one, and then boom, 2 in a row. Your enemies won't know what hit them. You've also got Sealed Ahamkara's Grasp. Melee hits reload current equipped weapons. If you hate reloading that sidearm and you're getting all close, you can do some punches and you'll have a little bit of fun because you won't have to reload as much unless you really want to do that gathering light reload. And of course, we've got Mechanur's Trick Sleeves. These are boost sidearms, especially when you're wounded. This is probably the most useful exotic specific to sidearms because it increases sidearm damage ready and reload speed, while you're critically wounded. Swapping to a sidearm increases its damage. So when you stack that on top of the mods we're going to go over here before too long, you get some nuts damage out of sidearms, which is not a bad thing to have when you're relying on a sidearm to give you back all kinds of abilities. And last but not least for the Gauntlets, we got Young Ahamkara's Spine. This is probably the best exotic to use with the sidearm because it increases trip mine grenade duration, which means it lasts longer before it blows up on its own, and blast radius. Ability grants trip mine energy. So damage someone with an ability, whether it be a grenade or a throwing knife, and you get some grenade energy. So you get to kind of stack all that regen on top of that sidearm. So this is probably the closest the hunter gets to the Eye of Another World for Warlocks, which we talked about in the Warlock video, and Hollowfire Hearts, which we talk about in the Titan video. Now let's look at some of these chests. I found a couple of chest exotics I thought were kind of cool. Ophidia's Fate, which grants 2 knives per charge. So you get all the knives, which means with that sidearm, you get even more of them, and those throwing knives can do some pretty cool things, so definitely worth checking that out. We've also got the Dragon Shadow, which is my second favorite PvP exotic. Dodge reloads guns and buff speed and handling. So just put on Gambler's Dodge, and you get both the reload for the weapons and for your ability, which means you're extra mobile because Gambler's Dodge is more mobile than the Marksman Dodge, and then of course you're reloading everything and getting that increase of speed and handling. You've also got the 6 Coyote, which is gain a second dodge charge. This is a pretty popular exotic when it comes to trying to go invis to skip through endgame things like Grandmasters. So it's definitely worth trying to try out this sidearm with that because you're going to get all the dodges. It'll be a good time, I promise you. Then last but not least, we got some Stoppies, which you guys should probably already know what those are. It buffs sprint, slide, and jumping. But specifically, we've got the Bombardiers. Dodging leaves behind an explosive that detonates after a short delay, damaging enemies around it. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to fly a bomber, this is the closest you're going to probably get unless you're one of the lucky elite people that manages to become a pilot and fly a bomber. So you get to do all your dodges, leaving behind all the little bombardiers, little explosive things, and it should be just a hoot. Don't forget, guys, the Orpheus rig is probably the more serious thing you can use when it comes to PvE endgame, and Gemini Jester is just my absolute favorite for Crucible. It's probably more of a personal thing, but I really love it. So now let's look real quick here at some of our mods you can do for sidearms. You've got surprise attack, which is basically when you're charged with light, you got reloading or raiding a sidearm will consume all the stacks of charged light and convert them into stacks of a major damage buff, which are depleted as you damage combatants with that sidearm. So you get to get a buff. So if you do the Mechaneers on top of this, oof, that's some spicy, spicy damage. Then you want to have things on that'll get you charged with light. Precision damage isn't the worst way to go. Lots of us like hand cannons, not so much the scout rifles. So use a hand cannon, both to that sidearm. We've also got an option with taking charge, which is become charged with light by picking up orbs of light. There's also a mod on one of the I think it's on one of the energy types that lets you pick up more stacks of light. Hopefully I can find that, and if I can, I'll put that in a pinned comment, or someone in the video comment, but you can get more stacks of light and increase all the stuff that you can do with that sidearm, which means you'll do more damage. So that's a pretty cool thing to have. So that kind of covers it up for the mods. And we're just going to talk a little bit about the stats. Like I mentioned in my other videos, the stats are going to kind of be more up to you. If you want to really lay on into having all that ability stuff and have really high discipline and strength and that sort of a thing, then go for it. Maybe you want to make sure that your sword or your energy will be on point. You'll have all the grenades, all of your ability stuff, and you're just going to go for it with putting that into your stats. Or you might do what I think I'm preferring to do, which is to put all my stats into things like intellect and recovery and mobility, so that way I get the benefit of things that I don't get from the sidearm. To me, it seems a little redundant to have a lot of both, but that's probably the two ways I would see most people wanting to go, including you guys. Alright, I really appreciate you all so much for watching. I had a lot of fun doing this series. Let me know down below if you do enjoy the series. Feel free to check out my Warlock and Titan video once you got done with this video, and let me know if this is something you want to see more when we get a new exotic that you're like, yeah, Caboose, or there's some builds to do with this exotic. Just let me know. You guys are all fantastic. Don't forget down below so you can kind of chat. Who knows? Maybe we can become friends on Xbox, or get you into a clan for PC or Xbox, and just have a grand old time together. I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.